Barack Obama once said, "We are not red states and blue states. We are the United States of America." I want to talk about the United States of America and I'm wondering, seriously, if you're like me, are you into, even though you don't know what you're talking about, because I don't, but I'm into it. Are you into USA soccer? Were you watching that game yesterday? Did you have all the permutations, all the stats say, hey, we can't draw? We can't look. We just have to win. We don't have to win by a certain number of goals. We got to win. We'll advance to the knockout round. Do you have World Cup fever? That's my question for you, because I got
I don't even get a World Cup cold, let alone a
it.
fever.
Man,
You know what I mean?
why not?
A lot of my
Why
friends
not?
are into it. It's just an
Oh,
odd
man.
point of the calendar. Like I get the like I love the enthusiasm. I love the energy. Like for the people remaining on Twitter, it's an amazing like sort of minute to minute energy, especially if you don't actually know the rules of soccer. Like me, like I'm going to sit somewhere and say I am soccer ignorant. But to follow the people who I never see talking about soccer at any other time, talk about it with such fervent energy and expertise and sophistication, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take that part of it.
No.
But it's a busy time of year for me.
There's no expertise coming from me. This is just the fan. This is Michael Holley, fan of USA Soccer and fan of the United States. And I have to say, I know a couple people on the team. A little humble brag. I know a couple people, including Matt Turner, who I can vouch for. Matt Turner, great guy. I love to see good things happening for him. He's got an incredible soccer story. Look it up when you have some time. But I would say this about, it's not just about the knockout round, USA Netherlands, taking place on Saturday. We win. We advance to the round of 8. And which sets us up nicely for 2026 when the World Cup is in North America. And I don't know about you, Vinnie Goodwill, I will be at not just one World Cup game in 2026, God willing. I'll be at multiple World Cup games in 2026, being loud and wrong. Cheering probably at the wrong times. Probably saying touchdown, field goal. You're doing all the things you're not supposed to do at a soccer game, but I'll be there. But not only does it set us up nicely, it kind of goes beyond that conversation, the conversation on happening on the field. And we've always said this over the years in the United States. Hey, what will it take for kids to really stay with soccer? Kids always play soccer. They play it. You see youth soccer leagues all across the country. They play it in high school. A very select few play it in college, and then we never get to it. Never cracks the big four code of NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL. No one ever says, "Okay, I can't wait until soccer takes hold in the United States." So, but I think, Vinny, and tell me if I'm wrong on this or if you disagree. I think if the United States just advances to, if the U.S. were to advance to the Final Four in the World Cup, or even win on Saturday, I think that would be a huge spike in soccer interest for those who are kind of on the fence right now or casual soccer fans. You think so?
I think there's nothing more that people like feeling than like a feeling of patriotism. And over the past, 20 years, that's kind of been a weird space for us. You know what I mean? Because of all the rhetoric and conversation around it. But if, we as a country can unite around a common goal, which is, winning a soccer game, it doesn't feel so, lack of a better phrase, bastardized, right? It doesn't feel so co-opted. It feels more, lack of a better phrase, innocent, right? And I do think that if you're a soccer fan on the fringes, if you're someone who watches maybe the Premier League or you know a few names from the Premier League and you just sort of dip in and out, this might force you to come back in a little bit just because it's in your face. You can't avoid it. And it's the United States. It's the colors. It's everything else. The part for me about soccer taking a hold in this country is similar to baseball losing its grip, is that it's so expensive. Whether it's travel, it's cleats, it's accessibility, and all of those things don't reach the major cities where it is, where there's other and better options to play and to maybe be able to play by yourself or play in a small group compared to having to jump through all these other hoops to play there. So I think it could take hold amongst the fringes and in the suburbs. I don't know if it'll all get down to the mud. You know what I mean? And maybe it doesn't have to get down to the money. Everything doesn't have to reach there. But I do think there's an opportunity just because Americans like nothing else than to feel superior.
Yeah, that's right. And I wonder if that's a big part of it. The potential expenses of the sport. I mean, that's an angle where, and that's an easy fix if the U.S. is really committed to it. Like other countries, like soccer-loving countries that are far ahead of us in consistency in soccer performance. Traditionally, you talk about Brazil, you talk about Italy, you talk about England. Look, they will spare no expense. You give them a talented kid. If that kid doesn't have any money, don't worry. We ain't got no problems. The kid doesn't have any money. We will put talent over anything else. We will make sure that kid has an opportunity to contribute to the national pastime, which is soccer in most of these countries. It's not in ours. But when I hear people say, hey, can you imagine if our best athletes play soccer? I heard this argument 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Can you imagine if our best athletes played soccer? We'd rule the world. Can you imagine LeBron James? What if LeBron James played soccer and not basketball? What if you had, Steph Curry out there and what if you had Justin Jefferson? Like, okay, that sounds good, but we're not really wired. We're not wired like that. It's not in our, like soccer is in the soul of Brazil. I mean, it's just the way it is.
It's their sport.
This is on and on. So we're wired in a different way, one. And two, we got enough range where you don't need to play that game of LeBron James here and Justin Jefferson there. Clearly, this team, Vinny, if you're not on board in 2022, promise me that you'll be on board in 2026 because it's like seeing somebody you've known since they were 4 or 5 years old, watching them grow into a contributing member of society when they're 21, 22 years old doing big things. Because I'm telling you, this team is a young team. It's the youngest team in the World Cup. And by 26, we might just mess around and win the thing. We might just mess around and win it.
You saying 4 years from now, like that's next year.
Yeah.
Like imagine the changes that we're gonna go through in the sports world, let alone what the soccer world. So you're saying, you know what you sound like? You know what you signed the reverse? No, you know what you signed the reverse of? You signed the reverse of that terrible wedding song that you and Michael Smith love so much. We ain't getting no younger, might as well do it. You looking so far ahead, you was like, there's no urgency here. In 4 years, we still gonna be young. We gonna be okay. I admire the enthusiasm, but guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna check with you in about 3 months while we're in the throes of, just getting out maybe of the Super Bowl and All-Star Weekend and everything.
I'm gonna tell you right, you don't have to do that.
And I'm gonna ask you, what's your enthusiasm level then?
I'm a straight up fraud. I didn't make that clear off the top. I'm a fraud. Vinny, 6 months ago, I couldn't name one person on the team. No, but Matt Turner I got a couple people. My boy Miles Robinson, who should have been on the team, he got hurt. I've known him since he was 2 years old. Noah's dad, one of my best friends. So Miles Robinson and Matt Turner. I mean, I still can't pronounce Pulisic correctly. That's how he wants to pronounce it. I was saying Pulisic. Some say Pulisic. So I go with Pulisic. I mean, like, come on, I'm a fraud. But I'm a prisoner of the moment, and I'm excited about it. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.